good evening, and welcome to Top of the River here in Anniston as FNN brings you our weekly Tuesday night high school football coaches show. During the regular season, we'll be with you all the way up until early November talking high school football with coaches and players from throughout the viewing area. Jim Jacobs to my left, James Hardy, the voice of the game of the week, and to my right, the computer guru himself, the one and only Joe Medley from EA Sports Today. So I know you carry this thing with you all the time because it's kind of like your tool.
It's my cheat sheet.
Yeah, your cheat sheet. But do you actually know how to work on them?
No. Turn it off, turn it back on again.
Well,
that's a good starting point.
We weren't too good with it a few weeks ago, but we survived. All I can tell you is Quintard Computer Repair.
There you go.
Hey, when you've been doing this for 15 seasons, eventually something like that is going to pop up.
Yeah, and we still haven't fixed the remedy yet, so if it happens again, we'll be in the same boat, but maybe we'll get that handled this weekend. It's kind of like you just don't have enough time to get everything done that you'd like to get done, and about the time you get there, it's playoff time. You know, I mean, it takes the whole season to make things come together like you'd like them to, but welcome into the show tonight. It is week 4 for us here at Top of the River, the Catfish Capital, Catfish Exceptional. In other words, they specialize in catfish.
They do a good job with it, too.
And the shrimp is really good, too.
Yeah, you do the shrimp, right?
I'm a shrimp person.
You're a shrimp guy. Okay, well, I kind of go back and forth. I'm doing the grilled or broiled shrimp, broiled catfish tonight.
Okay.
Blackened. So we're going to see how all that turns out. Of course, it was a great Friday night for all involved this past Friday. Maybe one of the, when I left Lot Mosby, James, Friday evening, I said that was in our top 5 of games I think we've had recently.
Absolutely.
Because it was such a good game, and it was so back and forth, and, both teams did things to hurt themselves that, you don't normally want to see happen, but it made the game even more interesting to me because you just didn't know who was going to win.
I mean, one, at least in my mind going in, I thought Anniston with the talent advantage, the athleticism advantage, that they might have had that opportunity even in, let's say, a competitive three-quarter game to be able to pull away also with their depth. But give a lot of credit to Coach Todd Ginn's squad with Alexandria for the game plan, and then just the fight that they were able to show and competitiveness on the road to basically be in their end. I imagine in their minds when they got in to the visiting locker room, they probably thought, we should have won this game.
Yep. And I think that was even said right after the game. Joe, you were there. What were your thoughts on the contest?
Well, first of all, I thought it was really neat to see the stadium that full.
Yep.
You don't always see that, and a county on county game, 2 county powers going at each other. That's what you love to see around here. And I think they're both really good teams. And if they played 10 times, it might be 5-5.
Yep.
But just when it looked like Alexandria might pull it out there, tip ball interception and things are going the other way. And so it came down to making a play, and it was a pretty incredible play.
It was just a great football game. I mean, just from start to finish, Joe mentioned it, and I'm glad he did. The electricity in the stadium was there. And, kudos to Anniston for being one of the first in our county to have the facilities that they have with the turf. And they did an upgrade on the scoreboard. And, you don't normally think of Anniston being out front in those kind of things, but they were this time. And, it really is a neat place to – we've always loved shooting a game there because it's just so open and it's easy to get good camera spots and stuff like that. But to add the turf and all to it now, it just makes it that much better.
And they updated the visiting grandstand too.
That's right.
A new grandstand over there. And then the home grandstand, it just kind of harkens back to a time when, when you think about the 1950s, the stadium that's built into the hill, the concrete there, and games were played on Thursday night and – It gives you a different feel.
Well, there's just a handful of those stadiums around, anymore. I mean, to me, when you talk about classic stadiums, I think of Mary Dumas down in Talladega. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Lot Mosby and the Hill. I mean, those would be the three that would come to my mind to talk about just legendary stadiums in this area.
Yeah, and obviously it was improved more recently, but I think Piedmont's stadium is the Field of Champions is kind of on track to be that.
Yeah, there's no question about that for sure. All right, we've got a great guest lineup for you tonight, and we'll run through that for you real quick before we take our first break of the evening. Coach Bailey Blanchard is here with a couple of his young Lions from the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Jonathan Miller will join us in a bit from Piedmont, and he's brought along a couple of guys with him. Our player of the week this week, our Talladega Short Track player of the week, is Maddox Mims, QB1 for Sam Adams Oxford Yellow Jackets. And, boy, I tell you what, he laced one right on the money Friday night to set up Oxford in a come-behind win. That was very impressive. So he'll get the award tonight. And, of course, everybody's eating, and we're going to have a good time. And we hope that you'll stay with us for the full 90 minutes as we continue. Bailey Blanchard and the Glencoe Yellow Jackets off a 42-0 shutout of Welborn on the way next here on the Friday Night Network.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Back on the Tuesday night coaches show here from Top of the River in Anniston. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley, and our first coach's guest tonight, Coach Bailey Blanchard of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. His first year as the top guy over in Glencoe. And, boy, you guys had a pretty neat night this past Friday night. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. It felt good. Our guys prepared. Us coaches talked during the week, and we thought it was probably one of our best week of practices. And we had mentioned the weeks prior that, we're ready to play one of our better games. We thought that, the beginning defense played really well. The first two games, offense, we put them in a lot of bad spots against Westbrook. And they bailed us out a lot of times on the game against Southeastern. And we thought we played a lot better offensively against J.B. Pennington. And during the coaching meeting or the staff meeting before we play Welborn, we were like, man, we're just ready to play that complete game. And offense, defense, special teams came together and did a great job. And happy to get that win. And it was crazy. Just stuff was clicking on all cylinders, and we were proud of that.
Glencoe's best start since you were catching Taylor Hayes' passes at Piedmont.
Yes, sir.
In 2015. Did you see that coming this season?
I thought, during the off season, we got a lot of great guys. We got a lot of good leaders on this senior group that have stuck with Glencoe through the hard times. And, there's been some good times that they've got to experience as well. But they're just a good senior group that loves each other, loves to play for each other. We got a lot of good young talent coming up. And this summer, man, I got to brag on them. They worked their tails off. I mean, every day they came to workouts. There was no complaints. You get the typical 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. They're in workouts, getting tired, getting a little frustrated. But other than that, man, they came to work every single day. I think they've really started to buy into what we're coaching them and teaching them. And in the classroom, they're doing a lot better. They're on time. They're wearing their workout clothes. Just the little things that we talk about. Nick Saban. I'm not just a huge Bama fan or anything, but Nick Saban is obviously one of the best to ever do it. So I study what he does a lot, and just the little things like putting your chair to the left or putting your helmet to the right, or how you put your pads in your locker. And I think they're starting to kind of get those things. So we kind of figured that if we could just put all that together, we had some pieces that could make this happen.
Well, you kind of screwed my next question up, but I'll go with it anyway. Obviously, something had to change at Glencoe. The coaching change was part of that. At what point what did you do to get their attention? Because obviously it's resulted in some positive change.
First, I mean, I would love to say, everybody that has been there. Coach Martin has done a great job, and he taught me a ton. And he did a great job at Ohatchee, and so he taught me a ton of stuff. But I think that just the building the relationships with the players. Being able to build those relationships with these guys, and we brought in a bunch of young guys on the staff that can relate to them, and I think just seeing a little bit of success every single day, and like I said, just doing the little things right every day, and they started to see that little bit of progression, and the weight room is the main thing that I always talk about is you go from benching 225 and then all of a sudden you're benching 245, 250. Them kids are going to start believing in themselves, and they're going to get more confidence. And I think that Coach Terry and all of our guys that work in the weight room and get them in there, and all the coaches are in there. All the coaches are at JV games. All the coaches are in the weight room, and I think that doing those kind of things just helps build your program, and then just loving on the kids. You got to love these kids. High school football, if you don't show them that you love them, they're not going to play hard for you. And we show them that we love them every day, and they give their all for us.
You mentioned Nick Saban and Scott Martin. Obviously, you have some other coaching influences you can pull from, like your dad and Coach Smith. Just what pieces do you take from them?
Everything. I grew up in a field house since the time I could walk, since the time I could throw a football. Dad, the first time he actually got a start at Galesville. A lot of people don't know that. He was coaching baseball at Galesville and took him to the third round of the playoffs. People were like, Coach, third round of the playoffs at Galesville? And he's like, yeah. Coach Curry calls him, goes over to Cherokee County, and they have a ton of success there, get to play for a state championship. And he ended up playing in 9 total state championships, I think. And they ended up winning 5 over at Piedmont, and he coached in a baseball one as well. And so just how he prepared for games, I got to grow up watching that and get to grow up in a field house. Unbelievable. And he cared about every single kid that he coached. He loved up on them. And, I'll miss him every day, but I know he's there with me. I tell people, I told Bo Starkey the other day, he asked me what one of my pregame traditions is that I've got started, and I said I talk to my dad before every game. I look up in the sky, and I just say, hey, I know you're with me. I love you, and I wouldn't be here without you. And, and then Coach Smith, who was a brother to him, I can't say enough good things about Coach Smith. What he's done for me, the confidence he instilled in me as a young player. Because I tell people all the time I was 5'7", 135 when I was in like 10th grade, and then all of a sudden I got my growth spurt. So, and he never gave up faith on me. He knew I was going to be a good player one day, and got to play receiver for him, win a state championship at Piedmont with them, and then went on to college and played for some really great coaches there as well. So I've been really blessed to have a lot of great coaches in my life, head coaches and assistant coaches.
I'm kind of curious. You talked about, of course, your playing days, and to us, that's a long time ago. But to these kids, time is different than it is for us old people. Do you think that maybe your youth and your credentials and bringing in people like my buddy Silas, who's just a dog?
He is.
Do you think that's helped the process?
I think it has. I love our coaching staff. We have a great mix. We got some old heads that's been there for a long time, and they know the Glencoe traditions, and they just do a heck of a job. And they know what to do. Like for example, Coach Weems, man, we don't have to tell him anything. He goes out there, paints the field. We go out there and help him, but he's real particular about the lines and if they're not straight. And so and him and Richard Johnson, Heath Lancaster, they're from Glencoe, and then I got to bring on some younger guys. I got Austin Bishop and Silas Thompson and from Piedmont, Dylan Terry. And I don't want to leave out anybody because our coaching staff is a great staff. We got some Alexandria boys. We got some Hoax Bluff boys. So just all great guys from great programs. And you're right, Silas is a dog. And
I love that dude, man. He's contagious.
He is. His energy is contagious. And if you saw him on the sideline against Welborn Friday night, all of our coaches, but he was, chest bumping and fired up on the sideline. And he'll put his cleats on some days and go out there and run routes. And we joke with the kids.
And I bet he still got it, doesn't he?
Yeah, we joke with the kids all the time, and we say we'll lace them up, we'll come out there and run routes against you, and they'll say that's the best that you can get is against me and Silas running routes against you. So we get to talk trash to them a little bit, but just a great coaching staff, man. A lot of great guys. I love each and every one of them. They're like family to me. We just get to hang out in the locker room after games and stuff, and it's been good to get to hang out after some wins this year already, and just get to enjoy the moment. And life's short, and we want to take in every opportunity.
Just looking at the stats from the game Friday and some of the other stats from games I've seen this year, I know when Scott was there, it was the Ugly Eagle. It was what he did at Ohatchee. I'm seeing some more passing stats. Just kind of give us a sense of what when people see your team this year, how different does it look?
Yeah, it looks different. And me and Coach Martin talked, and it's based off your personnel. And he did a good job of basing off of his personnel and what he had, and especially at Ohatchee, they did a great job. They had some really mean kids up front that got after you. And but this year we kind of, I helped with basketball. So when I got the job, me and Coach Chambliss, that's my guy, and we talked to the basketball players and like, hey, we're going to have to spread it out a little bit. We don't have as big of guys as we've had in the past. We would love for you to come out and play, and just getting in the hallways and getting those guys out. And it's helped us a ton. But this year, we're one back, shotgun, spread it out. A lot of stuff that we ran in high school, a lot of stuff that I ran in college, and our defense is flying around with the football. And so that's what you can kind of expect from us this year. And Jamin Mintz is a 10th grade quarterback. He started against J.B. Pennington, did a heck of a job. He can sling it around good. He's a competitor. And then we got some receivers that can go and get it, and running backs that are really, really good. Our line blocked very well against Welborn, and then our defense, man, they have been outstanding. They've been flying around the ball. And the two guys I brought here, they're two senior leaders on our group, and they fly to the football. We're able to play, some man coverage and stuff like that now that, mix it up a little bit. And they're starting to study the game. That's the biggest thing. They're starting to actually, sit down and study film the right way, because it used to be, oh, that guy's not very good, or this guy's good, or that. And I was like, no, look what the down is. Look what the distance is. And they're starting to come to coaches with questions, and I love that. Just, being a student of the game. Having
a better IQ of what's happening on the field.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bailey, tell us who you brought with you tonight.
I brought Cooper Gomez. He's number 44. He's our inside linebacker. He plays tight end as well. And I brought Hayden Hudson. He's number 15. Them guys have been through all 4 years. They've never wavered. They're great ball players. They're great kids, and they do the right things in the classroom. They do the right things off the field. I can't say enough good things about those guys, and they've been an anchor for Glencoe. And they're the type of kids that you want your young kids to grow up to be like, and to grow up and play like, because they give effort every single night. And I can't be more proud to bring two great guys here, and like I said, two senior leaders.
Just, looking down the schedule, we can start to talk about things like maybe playoffs.
I think it's a real possibility now, Coach.
Easy now, easy. We don't want to look too far ahead.
Silas just run off the road.
Yeah. Silas has done chest bump Coach Bishop. So, no, we talked about it when they first got here, and that's our goal. And no matter what happened the season before, you could be 1-9, 10-0, 2-8, whatever. The goal in high school football is to play for a state championship, and that's, I've got to do that, and I tell the guys, it's not for me. I want y'all to get to experience what we got to experience, because it's so many great memories. And I tell them, we're going to get honored the other night for our 2015 team at the Piedmont Westbrook game. I wore that ring maybe 5 times, but the memories from that and the guys and getting to talk to those guys, it's priceless. And I love, those guys. And that's what I want these guys to get to experience. And, you got to start somewhere, but your goal has to be the best if you're ever going to get there. And that's what we tell them. But I don't want to look ahead. And we got an open week this week. It's a much-needed one to get some guys healthy, and then we get to play the big one. That's what they say around Glencoe, Hoax Bluff.
Yep.
Coach Rob does a phenomenal job over there every year. But, looking down the schedule, there's still no easy game. And our region's very, very tough. And
with Coach Rob, that's like going over to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I love Coach Rob, man.
He's great.
He's been great to me. He calls me, checks on me. Him and Dad had a huge respect for each other as well, so I appreciate him. But, next Friday night, for those 4 hours or however long, probably 2 hours.
It's war.
Yeah, it's war. But, just a great mentor as well. But looking at the schedule, not an easy game on that schedule at all in our region. But we are hoping to make a run and get in the playoffs and see what can happen. But we got to take it one game at a time, and that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. Well, I know that there's lots of things ahead for you guys, and we're super proud of the success that you found up there so far this year. Keep it up.
Yes, sir.
And like I told you when you first came in, I know your dad's really proud of you.
Yes, sir, I appreciate that.
Now, I can't say much for your crazy sister.
No, yeah. No, I'm glad to have 2 really great sisters, Tara,
but you said they're both different.
They're very different. Tara, she's the one you probably don't want to mess with. She'll throw hands. And,
yeah, I'm sure.
But Meg, she's a sweet one. But I'm blessed to have 2 great sisters, a great support system. My mama, I love her to death, and just a great family. My uncle, my cousins, my nieces, nephews. I was just a great family.
I will ask you this to wrap it up. How weird is it to go back to Piedmont?
It's weird, because that's a place that
you were there right in the middle of all the big success.
Yes, sir. And that's the crazy thing is when you look at it, like we were there from the very start when it wasn't what it is now. And so I grew up in that locker room, and so that was like my home. Like when Dad was there, I was there, and I would just hang out in his office. Me and my little sister would hang out in his office, and I'd either be doing like play sheets, coloring in, the routes on his little note cards.
Yeah.
So that was my home, and that it's just a special place. It's always going to be a special place to me. And then you got new beginnings, and Glencoe has been great to me, and I'm excited to hopefully build it and see if we can do the same thing at Glencoe that Coach Smith and Dad got to do at Piedmont. And like I said, I grew up in that field house, and there's so many great memories. There's a lot of great players on the walls there that helped build that place, and I'm excited to get to see a lot of those guys Friday night at the game, and looking forward to get to see Coach Smith and get to see the Piedmont guys.
Does Silas get to come back?
Yeah, he'll be.
You tell him I got a microphone for him if he'll come.
I'll tell him. He's probably watching right now. But yeah, he'll probably be running on the sideline, chest bumping. His energy, man, is awesome. But it's going to be cool to get to go back. It does feel weird being on the other sideline. The first time I ever went back, it was weird playing.
Imagine what it's like for Steve.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But they're in good hands, man. And Coach Miller's going to do a great job there, and they got great kids. I mean, when you go see – I floated the creek in Piedmont the other day, and I got to see Ben Dempsey back there, and just a good kid, man. He comes up, hey, Coach, how you doing? Good luck to y'all this year, supporting y'all.
Yeah.
Because, I did play there, and that is still part of my home. But Glencoe is my home now, and I want to do what we did at Piedmont here and get it to where it can be. I believe that Glencoe can be.
Glad to have you. Thanks for coming over tonight, and we'll see you with Locust Fork here near the end of October.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having us on.
All right, buddy. Stand by. We got players on the way from Glencoe. James will talk with those young men when we continue here on the Friday Night Network.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
It's week 4 for the 2025 season when it comes to the FNN Coaches Show. James Hardy with you as we continue to feature the Yellow Jackets of Glencoe, off to a very nice start so far this year at 3-1, and actually their best start to a season since the last time that they were able to make the postseason in 2015. So Glencoe, they'll be enjoying a week off this week, and to help us at least recap the season, kind of tell us how the season's gone in general, Cooper Gomez along with Hayden Hudson for Cooper, tight end and linebacker, and then for Hayden also a wide receiver and a linebacker. Big thanks for both of you for joining us.
Sir, thank you.
Let's start with you, Cooper. Just kind of tell us how enjoyable has it been? I know y'all basically grinded away the last few seasons trying to at least get your footing as a football program, but just how enjoyable has the first few weeks of the season been for y'all?
Oh, it's been an amazing experience to just finally be able to win some games. That's always the goal when you're playing in a competition in football. You just want to win, and so it's so nice to be able to be winning those games now.
And then, Hayden, you and Cooper and a lot of, especially the veterans on the squad, y'all have had some tough times over at least since y'all have been on the varsity squad. Just how much has, I guess, that hard work that y'all have put in over the last few years, how much do you think that y'all have been able, that some of that hard work is finally starting to pay off for y'all?
It's great, man. Like, the hard work's starting to pay off, starting to believe into the program and everything. You know, it's great. I like it. And
then you're kind of pointing out, you see a difference as far as the energy just in the locker room day in and day out?
Yes, there's always a different level type of energy in the locker room.
And then, Cooper, as far as just where do you think, is there like a moment or I guess as far as anything that really have been some of those keys as far as kind of getting the ball rolling in the right direction?
It just starts in the off season, really. I thought we had a really good off season. We showed up to work. We stopped making excuses. We just grinded it out in the weight room, took every rep seriously, and it really started to show and started to pay off.
As far as culture building, but also the message that you just alluded to, was that something that I guess Coach Blanchard from day one emphasized to y'all?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. Just since the very beginning, his motto has kind of been believe. Just believe in what we do, believe in yourself, and believe that every day you can get better and get to the point you want to be at.
And then, Hayden, just describe the first time that y'all were able to, I guess the first time that y'all had the chance to meet Coach Blanchard when he took over.
It was great. I think it was a great opportunity that he took over. Everything was great. You know, like you said, believe in the process, believe. I'm just thankful to have him. He's a great coach. I love him to death. You know, it's a great.
You know, the first week, a 7-0 win over Southeastern. How big was it as far as just even that first game, even a low-scoring defensive struggle to be able to come out and find a way to win that very first game to start the regular season?
I think we did struggle in the beginning, but as the game played on, as the weeks played out, we just kept getting better and better and better. You know, our defense played great that game. I'm very proud of them, proud of myself, proud of Gomez, our D-line. Couldn't do anything without them. They keep us clean back there. And, I think we just figured it out and kept going.
And then, Cooper, y'all took on one of the most physical teams year in and year out in our region, Walter Wellborn, and y'all took it to him this past Friday. Just kind of talk about, hey, as far as maybe what led to not only that this past Friday, but I guess the week of practice leading in to your big victory this past week?
Well, in years past, I think we've always gone in and we're like, oh, it's Welborn. They're going to be physical. We're going to back off and not try to match that. And so this year and this past week, our big emphasis was match their physicality and bring it to them. Don't sit back. And I think we really did a good job of that throughout the entire game, of to not sit back and catch them, but to go bring it to them, and to not fear the Welborn, the Panthers on their jersey, but to just go play the game.
Especially coming off a game like Walter Welborn, is this a good time to have an off week?
Yes, it's a great time. We have a few injuries that we need to address, and so we're getting that taken care of this week. And it came at a good time in the middle of the season to just refocus ourselves, focus back on taking it 1 week at a time, and to really just get back to health.
And I know every time, Hayden, that we go up to do a basketball game at Going Co, pretty much a packed-out gym, and we always expect, as far as at least one of the best 3A teams in our area. Just how exciting has it been for the fans, for your supporters to come out and know that your football program is starting to match that on Friday nights?
It's great. It's a great experience. Our fans, they support us. We got to support them. Them coming out when we're winning, it's an amazing feeling. It's great.
And then as far as how's the season been for you individually, considering the team's success that y'all have had?
I feel like my season's been pretty good. There's things that we can still improve on. Myself, the team, everybody else, still buying in, believing in each other. I still think we got a long way to go, but we're still building that process of winning and keeping it going.
And then, Cooper, where are some of those things that the team as a whole can continue to take those steps forward to be even better as you get into the season?
Well, I've talked about focus earlier. Our focus is just got to keep being there. I think when we've lost focus, that's when we really started to have slip-ups and let a game get away from us. And so just keep improving our focus and our attention to detail. We focus a lot on taking care of the locker room and all the details, and so to just keep continuing getting better at the little stuff, and that'll turn into big wins.
And then you've mentioned as well, we've already talked about the opening message as far as Coach Blanchard taking over the program. What's been the message since Friday night's win, knowing that, hey, y'all racked up already 3 wins under your belt, more than you had all of last year. You got the off week. But with that success, a lot of meaningful games coming up over the rest of your schedule. What has that message been from the coaches since this past Friday?
The message has been 3 wins isn't enough. We don't want to stop now. We want to keep grinding, keep getting to where we want to be, and to keep winning games. We're not satisfied with 3 wins. We want to keep getting more each week at a time.
All right, so I got to know, Friday, y'all don't have a game this week. What are you going to do this Friday night?
I'm going to go out to the Westbrook-Piedmont game, watch some good football, just watch how they play the game, because those are 2 fantastic teams, and it'll just be a great opportunity to get to watch them play.
I like that decision. In fact, that's a good reminder. That's exactly where we're going to be on Friday night. And the same question for you, Hayden. What are your Friday night plans?
This is our bye week, but our next week is Hooks Bluff. You go watch them versus Anniston. That'll be a good game. And then, like Cooper said, Westbrook versus Piedmont, that's also going to be a very good game. So I'm still 50-50. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll have a good option in mind once we get to Friday night. And you brought up a big rivalry for y'all coming up the following Friday. Non-region game, but non-region game. Still a big game, I imagine.
Oh, yes, sir. It definitely is. Hooks Bluff, they had a great team. I think this year we have a great team as well. Just like Gomez said, keep on matching the physicality, keep going, keep winning, keep believing in each other. It plays out in our favor, and we keep going.
Just when Hooks Bluff comes up, the name Hooks Bluff, what comes into your mind?
It's a large rivalry, and they're a great team. They're going to do what they do. They're going to run the football. They're going to try to be more physical than you and play harder than you for 4 quarters. And so Coach Rob does a great job over there, and so our focus this week is going to be on us and then preparing for them to match their physicality and to play hard.
And then, Cooper, also, what are some of the biggest steps you've made as a football player this year?
Just trusting in the process, and I've gotten bigger and faster and stronger through the off season, and so that's been a huge help to me during games.
And then also, Cooper, describe your leadership style.
I'm a pretty vocal guy. I like to talk on the field. I like to make sure we're on the same page, and I like to try to bring guys along with us.
Hayden, how much of a vocal leader is Cooper?
I mean, he's the chief of our defense. Like, if it wasn't for him, I mean, I don't know. Like, Gomez the head of it, man. This is the brains. Gomez got the brains, everything, the talent. He's all there.
Has he ever had to light into you for a misstep on the field?
No, probably not on the field, but when you go back and watch film, man, there's some things that he teaches me on that I need to get better on, whether it's I missed the wrong gap, filling the wrong gap, doing this, doing that. He's been helping me.
Could you see him as a coach in his future?
Most definitely. Coach Blanchard could even say that for him. He'd come back and be the head coach.
All right, so Cooper, could you see yourself as a coach in your future?
Yes, sir. I feel like that's something I've always wanted to kind of do. I love football, love the game. I love studying it and the strategy of it, and so I think it'd be fun to be a coach.
And then describe Hayden's leadership style, since Coach Blanchard, before y'all got on, mentioned how important y'all have been as leaders on the team. Both of y'all have been on the team this year.
So Huddy is a very much lead-by-example kind of guy. He does things right in the weight room. He acts right during school. He plays with a lot of effort. Every day at practice, he's flying around, getting to the ball on defense, just doing what he's supposed to do. He leads by example really well.
I like the combo of that vocal, lead by example, and so far that's a pretty good combo to get yourself off to one of the program's best starts in a decade. Glencoe at 3-1, 2-1 most importantly in 3A Region 6, and also most importantly, maybe even more importantly, with a physical team that they played this past Friday in Walter Wellborn. Another one coming up the following Friday against Hoax Bluff. Might have been a good time indeed for the Yellow Jackets to get a little time off this week. A big thanks to both Cooper and Hayden for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season. I imagine we'll be seeing y'all here pretty soon for maybe one of y'all's important games before the regular season comes to a close.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We still have a lot more as far as the FNN Coaches Show for tonight. Piedmont coming up, and we still have a little hardware as far as our Player of the Week, courtesy of Talladega Short Track. All of that coming up after this.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
And welcome back to Top of the River for our Tuesday night FNN High School Football Coaches Show. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley here at the table with Piedmont head coach Jonathan Miller, ready to have a big game coming up Friday night that we will be at, and a lot of fans will be there as well. I understand that there's going to be a the 15 team that's going to get recognized, and
it's the 10-year anniversary, obviously, of the 2015 state championship team. So it'll be a big night for those guys to be back on campus.
Yeah.
Just Can you kind of give us a sense of what it's like in the community up there with this such a big game, and obviously not just two teams that are competitive for the regional title, but obviously who's on the other side of the ball? That's obviously meaningful up there.
Well, I think it's still a little early in the season. A lot of football to be played, so it is a big game. I think it's definitely two playoff teams will be playing at Field of Champions Friday night. So it's a game with playoff implications, and the community's been great as far as the Cherokee County game. The atmosphere there was incredible, on both sides, and huge crowd, great atmosphere to play in, and Friday night will be the same.
Well, as we kind of dissect the schedule, Coach, like you said, there's a lot of football still left to be played, but Friday night's going to be big in determining who's going to win the region. No question about it.
Says
you. You probably don't want to talk about that, and I know Steve wouldn't either if he were sitting in your chair, but that's just the lay of the land.
I'll say this. Big playoff implications.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll
go. As far as you want to go.
A lot of good teams in the region, so we'll see how it shakes out. But, a big game Friday night as far as settling some things and that kind of thing. So we'll see, two good football teams playing.
Do you embrace it with your kids, or do you try to dial it back as just another Friday night?
I mean, we've really just kind of treated it like any other week. I mean, there's enough surrounding the games that they hear without us trying to make it, a bigger deal than what it is. So they know it's a big game. We don't have to tell them that. So, we've treated it like any other week, but they do hear stuff, and they know the implications of the game.
Open date, and it was an open date before this game last year, but what did you get? What do you get out of this open date? Did you need to get some guys healthy? Just how do you feel like you all come out of that?
We did have one or two banged up that it did help. Truth be told, I'd rather have an open date if I had one later in the season, but it's it's what it is. So it did help us get a couple kids healed up and ready to play this week. So, we're in good shape injury-wise, so heading into this game. So, I guess it came at a good time for those kids to get healthy, fully healthy and ready to go this week.
Obviously you're still working with these guys trying to get them to a certain level that you want them at, and you've had so much success already this year. So a lot of people like us are talking about how great you are and all that kind of stuff. But as a coach, how do you keep the progression going through the season?
Yeah, you just try to take it day by day. And we've had a great start to the season. You can't, I can't obviously we can find things we need to work on and get better, but as far as just the overall start to the season, it's been great. No complaints from us. So we have given praise to our kids and patted them on the back and all that, but at the same time, we have let them know that, there's a lot of football left to be played. And, teams get better throughout the course of the year, and we got to be one of those teams.
Right. Because the important stuff is in November.
You got to be playing your best ball in November. So it's not about where you're at today. It's just like we told them before we played Cherokee County. It's a great opening game. It lets us know where we're at and where we need to go. So that's just kind of the approach we've taken.
Cole Austin obviously came into this season ready for the job. How has he developed since the season started? Okay, where is he now compared to where he was in August?
Right where we thought he'd be. He stepped in and handled the job really, really well. Calm, cool, and collected. That's the thing you want out of a quarterback. Don't get too high, don't get too low. He's been in pressure situations. He's faced some pressure situations so far this season. So, and there'll be many more to go. But he'll handle those very, very well. And he's got a lot of good players around him. That's a good spot to be in as a quarterback. He's got he got playmakers around him, so he's just got to distribute the ball to those guys.
How do you use a guy like Raleigh with all his attributes to detract from what the other team is going to try to do to take him away? Do you use that to your advantage? Because obviously if they double him or they do a lot of other fancy stuff to zone him out, that leaves a place for something else to happen, doesn't it?
Well, there he is. And
can anybody cover him? I mean, he's so good.
He's very good at contested catches. Best hands I've ever coached, but it's more so with he makes routine catches too, but the tough contested catches, he's out of this world. Put the ball in his area, he's going to come down with it. So, and we have to be ready for what, we see something different each week. Teams are going to play him different. We're going to see different looks. We saw different looks last year as the season went on, and he had success. We got to be ready for whatever, possibilities we may see, because usually what we see on film we may not see on Friday nights.
The contested catches, it seems like in past years he made the big plays. Now he's starting to make the spectacular plays. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference to me, he's always been Raleigh, but he's more explosive year by year. After he tore his ACL as a 10th grader, right. Came back last year, he was more explosive, and this year it's kind of going up another notch. So he's definitely more explosive.
Well, he's already made his decision, I guess, to go to Jack State. He'll obviously be successful there, I would think, with all his skills. But talk about some of the other, playmakers around him and Cole and the rest of the offense that you're going to count on Friday night to also contribute to the scoreboard.
Well, we've got 3 running backs we really like, Nick Mixon and Jackson Howard and Landry Wright. So we start there. We got 3 guys that, we can go to in any situation.
Now, which one's the little speedster?
That's Nick.
That's Nick.
Man,
Mixon. Have you seen him?
Yes.
Oh, man, he's fast.
He can go. Yeah, he's small and strong. He's strong, but,
That's what Raleigh was telling me when we were up there doing the photo shoot is that, man, he's strong for his size.
He is. He looks little, but very, very strong for his size, and he will run between the tackles. I mean, make no mistake about it. He's not just a speed guy. He'll get in there and mix it up, so he's not afraid to do that. So Nick, obviously, is going to make some plays, haven't made plays for us this season. Jackson Howard's made a lot of big runs for us. Landry Wright's going to get in there and make some big runs. At receiver, Mason Morrow has had some big catches for us. Taylon Swain, Eli Johnson. We got a lot of guys, a lot of weapons. Caleb Tibbles, our fullback type guy that we count on to do a lot of different things for us. So, we've got a lot of options and a lot of guys that can make plays when need be.
Talk about the defense. We talk about all the offensive weapons on this team, but you guys held Cherokee County to 8 points, and obviously you've only given up 14 on the year. But you look on the field, it doesn't look like there's a ton of size there, but
there's not.
but it's effective.
Yeah, I've been very, very pleased with our defense. Those guys have played extremely well. Our defensive coaching staff's done a great job with those guys, and we're not big, but we're quick. Get to the ball, got some speed on that side. So, and we do, we got some guys that we can bring in that's a little bit bigger, when the time calls for it. But we've got a good mix of kids that's playing hard, willing to be coached. And, I struggle right now. It's a long season. Don't get me wrong. It's a long season. We'll find some things along the way, but I'm pleased with all 11 guys on that side of the ball right now. Can't complain, in any one spot. So a lot of football to be played, but happy those guys have gotten off to a great start.
As a coach, do you get more pleasure out of an offense that's performing and scoring a lot of points or a defense that's shutting somebody down that normally scores points?
Yes.
Coach, that's pretty good. I got to hand it to you. That's pretty good, yes.
I will say this. I would rather play good defense than anything else.
And I don't know why, but I thought that's what you were going to say.
You got to score to win, obviously, but when you're good on the defensive side and you can run the ball on offense, you can win a lot of games.
So you're one of the coaches that does believe defense wins championships.
There's no doubt. No doubt.
You and Steve have had some classic battles over the years. What are those, when you guys are staring at each other from across the field. What are those battles like?
I just got a lot of respect for Coach Smith. You know, he's had a great career. You know, won a lot of championships at Piedmont. Really built the program into, you know, what it is today. I mean, it was, you know, it started when he got there, and they've just had tremendous success. So, you know, you enjoy coaching against the legends, you know, and I've had the opportunity to coach against a few of those, you know. So definitely enjoy competing, you know, with those coaches and those teams, because it's really about the teams on the field. You know, we get them prepared, and the guys on the field, the players got to go out and play.
Well, I will go to my grave saying that the game against them at Sachs that you were in was one of the greatest high school football games I think I've ever seen. It didn't come out your way, but
it was a good game, I'm sure, to watch. But I got a little sour taste in my mouth on that one. A little call or two in overtime. I'm not a fan of. So.
Oh man!
Well, just what, you know, how do you see this game Friday night? You know, a lot of people are excited about this. Just, you know, what are some of the keys there for you guys?
Well, I think you know, any week that you're playing a good opponent, you know, you first want to control what you can control. Penalties, you know, turnovers. Those are always two big issues when you play in big games. And then, you know, for us, running the football effectively and stopping the run. I think if, you know, we're able to do those things, then, you know, we got a good shot to win. You know, I'm sure they think the same thing.
What is it like playing against Steve at your place? There just has to be so many different emotions, and how do you keep all that in check?
I'm just happy he has to walk in that hot locker room over there to start. You know, no, but, you know, it's weird seeing him on that side of the field.
Sure.
You know, I've been up there a lot, and that's the side I've been on, and it's just weird with the roles reversed. It's odd. So,
yeah, and I don't know. Does the rivalry of wanting to, you know, beat that guy because it was his program at one time and they had so much success under him, does it ever make you do dumb things?
No, I don't think of it like that. I
you know, like would you go on it on fourth down if you thought that was a way to beat Steve?
I would do that if I thought it was a way to win any game.
I got you.
You know, I don't, you know.
So, Joe, we're making more out of this than there really is, okay?
Every Friday night when you know, we play, we want to win, regardless of who's, you know, who we're playing or who's on the opposing sideline or anything like that.
And that's why he wins a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, tell us who you brought with you tonight, Coach.
I got two of our defensive players who've had a really nice start to the season. Ben Dempsey's a senior safety for us, and Carson Sanders, junior outside linebacker for us.
Great. Well, we're going to let James get in here and have a word with those two young men. Thank you for driving down and being with us, and we'll see you Friday about lunchtime.
That sounds good.
All right, Coach Jonathan Miller, the Piedmont Bulldogs. We'll be back with the players coming up straight ahead here on FNN.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
And we return to Top of the River here in Anniston for the FNN Coaches Show, our fourth week of the season for our Coaches Show. James Hardy with you. A big thanks to all of our teams that have joined us so far, Glencoe and now Piedmont, as we continue our spotlight on the Piedmont Bulldogs that come in at 3-0 on the season, and, of course, 2-0 in Class 3A Region 6. And we all know, at least at this point, a big game Friday night for Piedmont as they'll take on Westbrook Christian. Of course, our FNN cameras will be up there as well. 6:30 for our countdown to kickoff, and 7 o'clock, of course, when toe meets leather. And don't forget to download, if you haven't already, our FNN app. Just go to the Google Play or Apple App Store and put in the search box FNN Network, and you should be able to find us as we have schedules for all of the teams around the area, and, of course, our FNN broadcast schedule on our FNN app. And, of course, you can watch the FNN Coaches Show and our Game of the Week live and on demand. Now let's get into our players for tonight that will be spotlighting as well this Friday. Ben Dempsey and Carson Sanders join us to help us preview our Game of the Week this week. A big thanks to both of you for joining us. So let's start with you, Ben. How's the off week been for you?
Man, it was great. It's always a great time to get some rest and, just get back on track with everything. And, of course, if we have people that are injured, it gives them some time to heal up, and it's just a good thing for us.
Carson, how's the off week been for you?
Yeah, the off week was pretty good for all of us, I think. I think it came at the right time for some of us, especially with some of the injuries and stuff, but I think it was a good week of practice and ready for a good week this week.
Just how's the season prior to the off week? Just, I know y'all have gone perfect so far. Run through the early portions of your schedule. Just how would you grade, I guess, the overall performance that y'all have had so far in your first three games?
I think we've done good, I'd say, but we definitely have a lot of stuff we can improve on, which is a good thing at this time of the season. So keep going up, and hopefully we can finish the season undefeated and make a run for the state championship.
Of course, you just mentioned getting to that blue map, getting to the game, and, of course, with the tradition of Piedmont, as we talked about time and time again, taking home a blue map. What are those things you'll need to do, Carson, to take those steps in order to reach those goals?
I think there's a lot of small stuff we have to do. Special teams is a big thing, and that's came into play some this year. And then on top of that, we have a lot of stuff on the defensive side that we can still pick up. We've only gave up, I think, one touchdown so far, but there's little stuff that we can still go through and make us better. We have a lot to improve on.
And then, Ben, just kind of talk about the message from Coach Miller and the coaching staff this week.
Shoot, the message from them, just stay focused and do what we need to do, execute. They always make sure they always put a big emphasis on getting no penalties, just tackling and blocking. That's another thing.
Very good. So I know we were talking about before we got up here as far as just when it comes to the culture of Piedmont. Of course, every game is a big game, and I imagine we'll be talking about that on Friday as well. But how big is it, though, this week? Of course, Coach Smith coming back another trip back to his old stomping grounds, but both teams undefeated this week, a lot on the line. Does it feel like maybe there's a little bit bigger than just, I guess, your average week this week?
I don't know if I say I feel like there's that it's a bigger game, but every game's a big game. We try to treat every game the same. Always think highly of our opponent that we're going to be playing, and man, of course, playing Coach Smith, the old coach. I think it'll definitely bring a crowd out. It'll be a good game. And
then I imagine, at least knowing Coach Miller, he's one of those type of guys that certainly tries to keep it week by week. How well has he been able, as far as just to get that message to y'all, of taking every game seriously this year?
I think like Ben said, we always give a lot of utmost respect to every opponent. So, it's a big thing. We don't really look at anybody in particular and just pick them out. Every week's a different game. It's a different opponent, and we want to go win. So,
how much do y'all, Carson, embrace as far as just being one of those, being the hunted, as far as Piedmont always with the tradition, always, and also the team that y'all have this year? How much do y'all embrace as far as being the hunted each and every week?
I guess we've seen a lot of teams below us that's had a lot of success in the past, and I mean, we're looked at to keep, carrying that on. So we're just, trying to do the best we can every week to, stay humble with everything, but, continue winning games and keep the Piedmont tradition alive.
What makes this team good?
I think our team's real well bonded, very competitive, but it's really well bonded. We're a good, solid team as a whole. So there's not a lot of animosity between us. We all play together, and we all play for what's on our chest and not ourselves. So,
Ben, sounds like good chemistry on the roster this year. Just as far as just togetherness, but also as far as maybe some of the past teams you've been on, has this been one of the most tight-knit teams you've been a part of?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Man, I think, there's many instances where there's a lot of people on the team going and hanging out, going out to eat, just doing all sorts of stuff together. And I think that definitely helps us out on the field, because, when you're out there playing with your friends, man, it makes it fun. It just makes the game a whole lot easier.
And then, Ben, kind of talk about maybe the leadership role you've got on this team this year.
Well, the leadership role I have, I'm a senior. I've been playing football all 4 years at Piedmont. I think that I just got to set a good example. I gotta make sure that all the freshmen, all the young guys doing stuff right, and I think that makes for a good leader role for me.
And then Carson, where do you think you've progressed as a football player from last year to this year?
I've definitely got more physical, stronger, faster. Just all the stuff you'd work on in the off season, I'd say. But I'd say a lot of the teams took a lot of strides like that. There's a lot of guys that are a lot stronger now, faster. A lot physical. You can tell, especially on the defensive side. I think we're really fast, but our offense too is very talented. Anyone that's watched us, I think, would say that we have a very talented group, but it's also a lot of hard work.
And then one more question for both of y'all. Make it quick. When the term Field of Champions comes up, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I think we all just, want to live up to being a champion. Because, Piedmont's been rich in winning state championships in the past 20 years or so. So, we want to carry that out, but, we want to succeed in everything we do, and that's just, I think, pretty much what that means to all of us.
Same to you, Ben.
It's definitely the word champion because, of course, that's the standard. We want to be champions, and so that's what you're going to get out of us.
And don't forget, folks, we'll be up at the Field of Champions this Friday night, 6:30 for the countdown to kickoff, and 7 p.m. when toe meets leather for two of the top teams in Class 3A in Piedmont and Westbrook Christian. A big thanks to Ben and Carson for joining us. And we still have our FNN Player of the Week for this week, some hardware to hand out, and we'll do that following this timeout.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
And welcome back to the Tuesday FNN Coaches Show, live from Top of the River here in Anniston. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley from EA Sports Today, and the head guy from the Oxford Yellow Jackets. I only have one word for you.
Yeah, that's fitting. That is fitting. Yeah.
Man, what a game!
Yes, I mean it was a nail biter. One of those that the fans get their money's worth. I don't know if this week's people talked about great game. I mean it was great how it finished for us. It wasn't really great how we arrived at that spot all the time, but our kids showed an unreal amount of just resiliency in the course of the game because we were down 14 in every quarter, I think, or close to it. And they just continued to fight and plug along, and finally we were able to overcome some of the things that got us in the hole to begin with, and made some really huge plays at the biggest time of the game.
Can you throw a ball prettier than Maddox did to hit that last touchdown?
That was a fantastic throw.
You probably said once or twice it's going to get picked. It's going to get picked. I mean, it's right through there. And
yeah, well, they that was the alignment that we got from them defensively in that situation was something that we had not gotten the whole game long, and really it's a compliment to Jalen Taylor, the reason why we got the look that we did. I mean, they were playing, like what most defenses call man free. So, I mean, man coverage across the board. The free safety normally is right directly in the center of the football field in that coverage. But in that particular snap and the one before, their free safety was all the way over on the hash on the side where Jalen Taylor was because, the respect they were giving him, which opened the door for another, huge throw and catch from Maddox to Andre Ford, which was his third touchdown of the fourth quarter.
Now, did he run the play that was called from the sideline, or did he check to that?
It was called from the sideline. That one we had actually done a little like a freeze play, hard count kind of thing before that, and got a penalty on. They jumped off sides, and they gave us the same defensive look 2 snaps in a row, and it was called for that really one-on-one matchup with Andre that we got, and Andre ran a great route. The coverage got eaten up by the route adjacent to him, which means everything behind it was opened up, and Maddox did a really good job of it was layering that throw in there. You had to get the right trajectory on it to get it over one defender, and then the safety that I had mentioned that was over on the opposite hash was kind of coming from the other side, and it was really put in a really good spot, and Andre did a great job of finishing the play off.
Well, what does it say about where his development is relative to where Mason's was at this stage of his career?
Yeah, they're two totally different types of players altogether. I mean, he can do a lot of the things that Mason did. I mean, the throwing accuracy and the arm strength is those things are very similar. He brings a different kind of just style back there, I guess, is a way to put it. Probably can do more things with his legs to extend plays than Mason did. And Mason was elite at some other kind of parts of the game back there. So it's really it's not necessarily an apples to apples sort of comparison.
Isn't Mason a good bit bigger than Maddox though?
That is true. That is true. Taller. Yep, that is true. I mean, by the time Mason got out of there, he was, I guess, pushing 6'2". Maddox is not quite that stature yet, at least. So that means he's probably got to move a little bit differently within the pocket to be able to see what he needs to see sometimes as well.
Speaking of resilience, where you all are now, where compared to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that resilience?
Yeah, we started off the year with two tough ones. The Central game, which I know you guys were there for.
Right.
That was one that we felt like we had more than enough chances to win the game,
and so did we, Coach.
Yeah, sure, yeah, and that's one of those where both teams felt like they could have won the game, just like this Pinson Valley game was. So, I thought at times in that game our lack of experience in some spots across the board kind of reared its head a little bit, And then the Moody game, just to be straight up, we just kind of laid an egg against a good team. Turned the ball over a few times in the first half and then they jumped up on us, and we were never able to close the gap down the stretch right there. But, I think we have while we are at the beginning of the year, we were playing some inexperienced guys. Those guys have gained experience, obviously, just from being in four football games now. But during those times, kind of between weeks 2 and 3, I thought that's when we could really lean on the guys that have been in there a lot. The Keenan Britts, the Jalen Taylors, the Caleb Wins, those kind of guys that know, really what the season is like and understand how long the season is. And that part of the reason why we schedule the teams that we do in the non-region play is to be exposed, and good, bad, or ugly. I mean, we don't want to have any kind of false sense of security when we get into region play or playoffs. I mean, we want to know what our shortcomings are. I mean, obviously, as coaches, you're always trying to fix those in the preseason before the season ever rolls around. But, live action on Friday night tends to expose more things than you tend to see in practice.
Well, you don't learn anything winning 50-6.
You do not. We could have played 2 totally different teams in the first 2 games, and we could be sitting here with probably a little different looking record than we have right now. But we wouldn't be as good a football team as we are right now. And we're still a work in progress. We're also not following the trap of thinking, well, we won 2 in a row, so now we got this whole thing figured out. I mean, the work is always ahead of us, no matter what the record is.
And it's almost a situation, Coach, looking at the schedule where there's just some meaty games coming up that you guys, if you want to be sitting at home in November, you got to win. I mean, it's just. You got Mountain Brook coming up, and they always play you guys tough. There's then Pell City seems to have found something this year, and you got to go there. So, they're laying in wait for you.
Sure.
And then, of course, Clay Chalkville.
Yeah.
And you got to go there.
That's all that's left there, yeah. I mean, that's our region is there's a lot of challenges in there, I mean, Mountain Brook this Friday, I mean, I don't know if they're in the most recent top 10 or not, but, I mean, they're perennially a top 10 team. Obviously, they took one on the chin this past week against Pell City, but they're still a really good football team, and then the Pell City, like you said, they seem to be on the rise, and, Clay Chalkville is one of the best teams in the state regardless of classification. And then, the non-region, in addition to that, we still have Helena, who's a 6A playoff team, and Florence, who's going to be fighting for a 7A playoff spot. So, I mean, most every week that we go out there, it's really a playoff-type atmosphere and against a playoff-quality-type team.
And you really need to get those wins against those Florences and those other non-region teams, because this thing could turn into a holy mess before it's over with. I mean,
it really could.
Points could matter a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you get into the tiebreaker scenarios in region play, if the head-to-head was to cancel each other out, then you get into the non-region games, and we've put ourselves in a tough spot with those first 2 non-region losses. But the good thing about playing teams that are going to have good records in your non-region schedule is that if you win, then the number of wins that they have add to your total points. I don't know if most people probably understand exactly how all that works. So now you got to win the game to get any of it,
right?
But there's a definite benefit to playing better teams in your non-region schedule.
They're going to get wins outside, and you get those points if it comes to that.
Correct. That is correct.
If you beat them.
If you beat them, yeah. If you don't beat them, then it doesn't matter. But beating, you get the credit for the wins that the teams that you have defeated get outside of that game.
You mentioned the way, going back to that touchdown that won the last game, you mentioned the way that the coverage shaded to Jalen on that play.
Yes.
What does he cause on the field that maybe we don't see?
Havoc.
He demands two coverage players. That's the short part of it. If there's not 2 of them, there are very few guys. I'm not going to say nobody can cover him, because there's a lot of good players out there. But there are a few people out there that can cover him with one person. So far, he's had 3 huge games, and the one that he didn't have a huge statistical game as far as total yards, it was because there was always another defender that was with him in the Moody game, and they played coverage against us that were not typically what they play in the last few years. I'm not saying they doubled him every snap of the game. That's not really accurate, but there was a lot of times in the game where there was a safety over the top and some under coverage in there too. So What we have to make sure that we do as coaches is make sure he's moved around within the formations a lot. So they don't know, if he's always in our base offense. I'm not giving away the keys to the castle here. I think anybody who pays attention knows this. In our base offense, he's the single receiver that's by himself in most formations. And of course, then the game play at that point is, okay, do you just leave the corner over there, or do you commit the corner and the safety? All right, now if you commit the corner and the safety, now that opens up something in the run fit or another receiver, like what we saw with Andre having the huge game last week. So, or if you just leave him by himself, then peace be with you, or whatever. I mean, it's if you leave him by himself, you're
good night, nurse.
You're playing with fire on that one, So, but that's what that's the inside game that was going on there last week, especially as that game got toward the end.
How good is Maddox?
He's a really good player, and really, look, his best football is ahead of him.
Well, there's years left.
Yeah. And he's made I think he's made steady progress in each of the games that we've had so far. He hasn't played perfect in any game, but quarterbacks, everybody's always in search of the perfect game, right? Yeah. And very few have ever reached that, but. His completion percentage numbers are way up. We shoot for 70% completion altogether, and he's right around that number right now. I think he's like 69. He's been up at 71, 72 in some games. So he's right there. He's at statistically, he's thrown for 800-something yards so far this year, which puts him about number 7 or 8 in 6A right now. I think he's he understands, the people that are around him that are really good players, and he understands that his job is to be a distributor of the football,
How much of Mason do you see in him? Because you coached them both.
Yeah. They're just so – not much. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
It's just they're just completely different. And I've never been in a situation where I've coached brothers before, but not brothers that play the same position in consecutive years like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a completely different. There's so much different. It's that I don't really see a lot of them in each other. That this past Friday, it was unique that Mason was actually at the game. They didn't Louisville. He was home this weekend and he was at our game at Pinson on Friday night, so that was kind of unique as well. But Mason's definitely a little bit more of a reserved, kind of quieter, kind of human being in general, and Maddox is a little bit more outgoing in that way.
The younger brothers always are.
Yeah, that is true.
Younger siblings
that is
always
true.
are.
Yep. So as far as what they can do on the field, there is a little bit of similarity in there too, but they're vastly different in their skill sets as well. It's not that we're not running a different offense that we ran last year, but the parts of it that we lean into each week are different than they were last year. I'll put it that way.
Tell us who you brought with you tonight besides Maddox.
Yep. So we have Andre Ford is here, who was on the receiving end of 3 of the touchdown passes the other night, and including the final one. All 3 of his were in the fourth quarter, which is pretty unique. I didn't realize that until the next day, actually, that all 3 of them were in the fourth quarter. Yeah, and they were all, really a lot of the scenarios, like I talked about earlier, that played out in different ways with, one guy commands a little extra attention, and, that opens up different matchups for us. And then Kamari English is here tonight as well. Kamari is a sophomore safety for us, who is also a team captain. Started for us last year as a freshman. Had 2 interceptions 2 weeks ago against Shades Valley, including a pick 6, and moonlights a little bit on the offensive side as well. Hasn't really done that in a game yet, but that could be coming up pretty soon here, maybe. But is really one of our leaders on the defensive side of the ball and for our team in general.
Well, good deal, Sam. Thanks for coming. Continued success. Road's tough, but I think you guys got the folks to get it done.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only way we'd like to have it. Have it be tough.
Got to keep Larry happy, don't we? All right, we're going to get Maddox in here after a quick break and present the Player of the Week award, and then we'll bring in his teammates, and James will take us home tonight here on the Friday Night Network Tuesday Coaches Show.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
And welcome back to the Tuesday Night Coaches Show here at Top of the River. We're heading into our final segments of the evening. And to my immediate left is our Talladega Short Track Player of the Week, Maddox Mims from the Oxford Yellow Jackets. How in the world did you thread that pass in there to get the winning touchdown done?
I'll tell you, I mean, we go into practice all week, and we practice, over and over again. And, like as a group, we execute that all week, and we see what we can do to execute it perfectly. And it just happened. Like what we practiced all week, it happened in the game, so it was just second nature to us.
Were you worried that it was going to get picked? It was so close with the defenders?
I mean, I kind of learned throughout the game how they played, and they weren't – I mean, I don't know. I just kind of late in the game, I just tried to get something done. I wasn't really worried about that. Now, when I watched it on film, it looked pretty close, but I was a little scared then. But
how big of a win was that last-second win y'all got Friday?
It was great. It was great for the team morality. Like, moving forward, I mean, instead of sitting 1-3, we're 2-2. So going forward, I mean, we obviously can't drop any games, but instead of being 1-3, it kind of gives us like a little boost of momentum a little bit.
Well, and if you look at this schedule, starting with this coming Friday with Mountain Brook, you guys got to win to stay in contention for the region. That's still on the table.
Yep.
You could certainly finish up with a second-place finish in the region and get to play at home in round one. But you can't drop any of these games. I mean, it's gotta be a W.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough schedule, but, I mean, we got confidence in our team and our guys and how we prep throughout the week. I mean, we're going to go in there and play it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just football. You know what I mean? You go out there and play as hard as you can, and whoever put up the most points wins. I mean, I know we got the talent to do it, and we got the coaching staff to do it, and we got the game plan to do it. So I think we're in pretty good hands for that.
Just as far as I know y'all had a close loss to start the season against an outstanding Central squad. Did playing in that type of a ball game help you as far as getting the job done this past Friday in a tight contest?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going out there against Central is the first time playing in a big crowd, playing against a good team, and I mean, this Friday, I mean, I've already seen how a real Friday night is, and then at the end of the game, it was just kind of like going back to the Central, the intensity, and not letting it get to you, not get too high, and when things are going bad, not get too low, just play football. And Friday night, I feel like as a team, we kind of did what we did against Central and just played football.
All right, let's do some self-examination here. How much better are you today than you were the night of the Central game?
I mean, I think a whole lot better when it comes to understanding defenses and understanding what the other team is doing pre-snap, because you can't play football at a high level if you don't know what the other team's doing. I mean, you just can't. Like, you got to read defenses, and I feel like Coach Adams has engraved it into my head to, see what the other team's doing. So, I mean, you learn that, and then throughout the weeks, you get better at it.
Does he strikes us, Coach Adams strikes us as being a quarterback's coach? Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. He knows everything down to a T at every position, really. Like, he's got a really good mind at everything, but at quarterback, like, He knows where to go with the ball, what to see on defense, and, like, really everything. And that's not with just his offense. That's with everything.
Right. Well, James, let me do this, and then we'll get his teammates in here, and you can spend a few minutes with all of them. Maddox, it's great to present you with the Week 3 Talladega Short Track Player of the Week plaque.
Yes,
and I got a feeling you might collect a few of those before you graduate.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
What would it mean? Hey, what would it mean to you? You know, your brother won Player of the Year last year. He ran away to college and didn't get there to accept it.
Yeah.
But what would it mean to you to be able to do some of those same things?
I mean, it felt great to me, to be honest with you, but I just know he took me under his wing from the time I was in 8th grade. And, I mean, I feel like everything that has become, like, with me today is all from him. Like, he's always there to teach me and what I need to do. And, I mean, it would be great because he was always there for me, trying to pick me up the same way I was there for them. So it was just.
Well, we've had people win it twice, but we've never had brothers win it, so that would be a pretty cool deal, too.
Yes,
all right, we're going to grab a quick break, get Maddox's teammates in here, and James will visit with them to take us home tonight here on the Friday Night Network. Stay tuned.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
The finish line is in sight for us tonight here on the FNN Coaches Show Week 4. But for at least the rest of the state of Alabama, they're still not even to the halfway point as far as the 2025 season is concerned. Still a long way to go for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. James Hardy with you. Maddox Mims stays with us to close out the night. And also Andre Ford off to my far right, and then closest to me on the right is Kamari English. A big thanks for all of you for joining us, of course. And then Maddox, let's kind of continue with you from our past segment. Kind of describe the couple of teammates you have with you and Andre and Kamari that are up with us at the table.
I'm going to start with AJ. I mean, me and AJ, we played ball together since we were like 11, 12 years old, and we kind of built that chemistry. And like you in football, you kind of have guys that you rely on to make plays, and you saw this past Friday. I mean, I rely on him. I mean, majority of the time whenever things go wrong. So he's always that kind of guy. He's a great kid, great ball player. And then Kamari, same thing. Been playing with him since I was 11, 12 years old, and I mean, he's gonna go get the ball. Like, he's gonna run after the ball. He's gonna go get it. And he's been like my brother for a couple years since I moved to Oxford, and two really good kids.
Kamari, just kind of talk about last week, another tight contest, something even this year, but the last couple of years that y'all are certainly very familiar with. But just kind of how exciting was that win Friday night?
That win was like, it felt good, you know, starting out 0-2 and then bouncing back 2-0. It felt good, but pulling that through, we just, as a team, we believed. Like, we knew if we got the ball back in the offense hands, what they could do.
we asked Maddox this before y'all came on. Just how much, as far as, I guess, the lessons from the first week against Central, that narrow loss, did y'all take, and how much did that help y'all in coming away with a win this time on Friday night?
I feel like it helped us by just us knowing the little things matter. And like Coach Adams preaches, the things that require no telling you guys to do. So I feel like that kind of helped us pull through, and we just believed, and we kept playing ball.
How good of a ball player is Maddox?
Oh, Maddox is real good. We, like you said, we grew up playing together from 11 to 12, so we always kind of bumped heads in competition, so we just better each other.
I know who's another good ball player, and let's bring him in as far as Andre Ford. 3 touchdown passes caught, and I didn't realize until at least tonight, all 3 of your scores were in the fourth quarter. I bet that had to be just a thrilling fourth quarter for you to help your team in a big-time way Friday night.
Yeah, yes, sir. Really, I didn't expect to get the ball. I ain't gonna lie. But just knowing that Maddox trusts me in those type of moments is a great feeling. And then knowing that I can make those plays myself and have that self-confidence that I can make those plays is also a great feeling, too.
I bet you it has to boost your confidence that in crunch time, in those final seconds when you got the ball and were able to score to help your team get over the top, I got to imagine that helps you as far as your confidence the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
Just how big of a win was that for y'all to go into that locker room knowing that you pulled a tough one out on the road?
Really, it just shows us, well, show people that what we can do, and it also basically just, oh man.
Let me ask you this as well about Maddox. He's already described as far as the chemistry that you two have. Just kind of describe as far as the chemistry, not just this year, but y'all have developed over the course of a lifetime.
So really, me and Maddox we started getting the PT on varsity at the same time. So that means we also played through JV together. That also built the chemistry too. And then not only JV, but that summer of, like this past summer at 707, through ups and downs, it just build our connection even more. And then now that we're on varsity, Maddox know what I can do, I know what he can do, and we just connect.
And then Maddox, I bet it helps you a whole lot when you've got players like Andre and Jalen be able to throw, and also Caleb behind you in the backfield to be able to throw the ball too. And then before we go, also just big game coming up Friday night for y'all against Mountain Brook. How big of a game is this Friday night?
I mean, it's a really big game. It determines, playoff seeding and playoff like home or away games. And like I said earlier, like as a team, like it boosts team moral too. Like if we win this game, it puts us in a good position. Go into the locker room after the game and go into the locker room that next Sunday morning and realize like, hey, we got a shot. Like we're gonna be a dang good team if we keep this going. I mean, they're a good team, but I mean, we have it in us to do this.
A big game for them Friday night, a big game for us Friday night as we'll make the trip up to Piedmont for Piedmont and Westbrook Christian. So for Glencoe as well as Oxford and Piedmont and all of our folks here at FNN, James Hardy wishing you a good Tuesday evening as you've been watching the FNN Coaches Show from Top of the River.